YouTube, which I'm not sure why. I'm gonna check on that for a second here. If it shows anything about that. Welcome in, Randy. Unable to connect. Okay, so I'm not able to connect to Twitch. Well, it does say I'm streaming on YouTube. All right, so I guess the YouTubes are working. Not sure why it's saying that it wasn't then. Now, view on YouTube. Let me double check this for a second. I am. It's live. All right. Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Let's take a look at the market for a second. Okay, we are. Oh, this week we've got CPI and PPI. I just remembered. Let me just double check the days. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow we got PPI in the morning, and then Wednesday is CPI. So this is exactly why I checked it. That should be the order it should be in. I've pretty much seen in the past they were doing CPI and then PPI. PPI is the more leading indicator. I guess they mix it up maybe on purpose just to keep. It's kind of like in tennis, change sides of the courts in case the sun is in your face. But PPI will be tomorrow morning, and that's the more leading, in some sense, index for inflation reports. And then, but the CPI is the more headline number, and that will be on Wednesday morning. Then on Thursday, we have retail sales and some jobless claims again. And then Friday, some housing and consumer sentiment. So the big ones, though, are tomorrow morning. So that tells you, right away that today is probably going to be a wait till tomorrow kind of day on the markets. The volume will be low, and volume's usually low on Monday anyway. So today, what you can expect, and we have 3.5 minutes until the open, is a more chaotic, it's not quite the right word, but a more whiplashy, kind of indecisive, low volume, lack of follow through kind of day. Yeah. And it's not so much that it's going to be choppy, you know what I mean? It's it's that because of the lack of follow through ability, it's going to be choppy. It's not necessarily that, holy shit, we've got two cataclysmically, opposite economic events slamming into each other. And so therefore there's going to be whiplash and chop and unknowns. And no, I think we're going to have a kind of muted day. It's going to be somewhat muted, waiting for tomorrow morning. And that's going to create chop. And but that's going to manifest itself in a basically lack of follow through. It's probably the best way you can put that to trading use. Lack of follow through. So that way, you don't expect follow through. And if you can get some, uh, probably it's going to be coincidental, and it's also going to fizzle by the end of the day. I wouldn't trust follow through. Today's probably going to lack follow through. Now, the interesting thing, though, is that the last couple of days, since Monday of last week's Monday's, um, I call it Jap Monday instead of Black Monday. It's Jap Monday. From what happened with the Japanese yen carry trade, it bounced back. It was all over. The carry trade effectively in the short term margin call was met. And so Monday fully filled in a little bit, bounced back. There was recovery. There was no further margin call when the market opened Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we had all solid top of the range progress days, which suggests to me preemptive follow through. And there's really only about a third chance of that being true. But that's enough to you should already have been taking swings on the market last week and getting everything ready, getting all the boys in the pit stop ready for the pole positions to a takeoff for your horses to come out of the gate. And then tomorrow morning, PPI is going to give us some indication of which way we're running. And I would say that if PPI comes in slightly surprise or slightly miss, that the next day's the next day's CPI could go in the other direction and negate it. So I wouldn't get too excited even on the PPI data, but there might be some front running that happens on a good PPI tomorrow morning. All right, the market is open. So, but in general today, what to expect? A muted lack of follow through day. Anything other than that, I will be suspicious of. And if it goes in your favor, great. If I'm wrong and it's in your favor, great. And if I'm wrong and it's not in your favor, you know, that sucks. And if I'm right, then it's not in anybody's favor. It's just going to chop and stay where it's at. And you're going to get sucked into trade. If I'm right, I saved you money from getting chopped up alive because today could potentially be a low volume chop day. We'll know that more in about 20 minutes will be more accurate, but 15 minutes. But in an hour or two, you'd really know because then you can get a projection on end of day volume essentially. And if it's going to be a light day or if institutionals are going in hardcore. I got some movement on you. You is the name of this particular stock or trade. You now green lane is probably a short, but anything can happen. If it were to break over 1175, I think we said, it could go to 37. So watch green lane for ultimate ridiculousness. And there's the U trade. It's kind of flattening out unless it can put in a big day today. Yeah, but I did already just hit a take profit on that, so that's nice. MGOL. My squawk in my ear is going nutso at the open here. All right, I got to watch out for this holding of mine, LTH. What are you going to do? Putting me through a little bit of hell at the open here, hitting my stop. No, nothing too bad. But I just got to monitor it for sure. LTH. And how does this look on the daily chart? Yeah, it's opening down here at my short, below my stop. Oh, I was short on it, and then I went long, and now it's back doing its short thing. Now it's reclaiming the short level. I mean, this is just not a chop on LTH trade. That's fine. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. Don't you worry about me. Off of the open, we've got about 50-50 on growth stocks. NTRA is up the strongest from the open. TRA. Yeah, it's been flying very strongly since earnings. The strength in NTRA is stronger than ever before. And it's about to break all-time highs at 115, 117.40. It's at 115.81 right now. So this is a potential swing trade in the growth stock community. And you might be able to put credit spread it tomorrow. Okay, Randy. Roger that. Green Lane. I keep calling Genelin, Gianelin, Genelin, but it's Green Lane, Gianelin, acting very indecisive, volatility increasing. I mean, like I'm telling you, it could explode to the upside though. I'm going to switch over to grabbing some right now and letting it play out a little bit. Wow. Happened to get in exactly when it spiked, and I think it might have filled me at a bad price. No, I got an okay price. Ah, see, I knew it. And then there's a flush. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and close that out. I kind of felt the volatility was increasing. You never know what's going to happen. Now, two coin flips in the right direction could have equaled an incredible breakout, but I think we're heading towards a halt now. I think we're heading towards a flush to a halt on Green Lane. And if I could have got shares to short, I would be short. Um, that's what a great short on Green Lane. For those of you who didn't know what the news was on GNLN, up 300% this morning. And we already made our profits on that, by the way, and took them because we've been in that for a couple of days waiting for this moment. Uh, the news was that this store, cannabis stores, this chain of cannabis stores, Green Lane, got a letter signed saying that this other company, which produces test strips to test for drink spiking and for fentanyl and for one other drug, that company signed a letter saying they'd love for them to be the exclusive distributor of their test strips. So somehow the stock is up 300%. So somehow after profits, these little test strips from this other company, they didn't even create the thing. They're not a biotech. They're a retail chain of cannabis stores. So somehow that's supposed to increase the profits that this store selling how many products? 1,000 different products in their store by putting their little test strips up front, potentially by the register, like you'd find at a gas station. It's supposed to increase the profits of the company 300%. A letter of intent from the test strip company. It's supposed to increase the you know what I mean? This is welcome to the wild world of pumps, my friends. This is why it's an excellent short. I mean, I would have put so much money into this short, but I'm unable to locate shares short, unfortunately, on it. Um, but this is one hell of a beautiful fucking short right here. You get about 50 to 60 to 70% return when this thing craps out on you. PSIG is moving now. Okay, this is one we could potentially take a piece of. But okay, so it's about 40 cents of risk over on PSIG. Meanwhile, GNLN is fading out. And there's also MIGI. But isn't that insane? I mean, only weed traders could possibly push a stock up 300% on such crappy news. But yeah, stocks do this. This is, you got to get used to it. Mini stocks uh, get pumped on nothingness. You have to like read the fine print. So the report is. Oh, and this is the great part. This is the great part, guys. No, listen, listen, listen. This is the great part. It's a non-binding letter of intent. It's a non-binding letter of intent that caused the stock to go up 300% on the store that's going to sell the test strips that they don't even make, that this other company makes. It's a non-binding letter of intent. from the company that makes the test strips saying, sure, we'd love for you to be our exclusive distributor of our test strips. Non-binding. Sure, we'll sign that. Here you go. Enjoy. And that increases their stock price. The weed stock traders believe by 300% after profits, because the value of a stock share is after profits. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. A non-binding letter of intent. These are the best. So there it is. Announces non-binding letter of intent to be the exclusive distributor. They're hoping you don't see the non-binding part, but they're trying to stay in compliance and be legal. But like, you know, not everybody's using all their brain cells on this one. So perfect storm, really. The market is moving down at the moment. I would suggest this is probably just part of the whiplash. And as well, if you look at the daily chart, because we're so elevated above the reclaiming gap filling Monday of last week, we have a lot of room here to pull back. We can have a red day, easy, no problem. So yeah, don't put too much faith in that. PSIG is not really following through. It's almost 80% retrace on that opening move. So be ready to cut if it doesn't pick up. EG. And like I said, there's only about 45 to 40% green stocks off of the open. And I'm not loving much of them, although there's Nvidia, but Nvidia is not really at pole position for me right now. Netflix is. Nvidia is looking similar to the market. Nvidia is perking up. Yeah, it is getting to an interesting point there. And then Netflix, how's it doing? Netflix is pulling back. It had a decent, strong Friday. Let's see here. What other tickers do we have going on? CDLX. Take a look at that. No. D Pro. A volume. TC? No. It's going to be soon. That's a 20-cent stock. The new rules that may be coming into effect on NASDAQ regarding reverse stock splits with these shit companies, these stocks that are below $1, would suggest that you will not be able to make a reverse stock split to go above $1 in order for the purposes of getting back into compliance to be priced above $1 more frequently than once per trailing year. And that's if you've meet other new stringent requirements on keeping yourself above $1 for the time in which you reverse stock split. So it would be really nice to see them clean up these really shitty companies off of NASDAQ. Every company has trouble taking off and deserves some runway. But I mean, there are like 15 to 20,000 fucking stocks on the OTC. And what's the problem with having 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 more from NASDAQ? Send them over there. Off to the pink sheets with you. That's what Randy said. Yes. What's going on with you? You is pulling back here. I gotta take a look at my position. You. All right. That's within my. I already took some profits, and that's within my uh trade volatility bands, if you will, with my stop being where it is. So that's all right. That's all right. Okay, what else do we got here? I want to catch some interesting cooler. That was something I was looking at earlier. Oh, volume is not there, but that did pique my interest earlier. Cooler. MRIN reminds me of Mullen. I think, are we already in this? Possibly we're already in this. MRIN. Guess we're not. Though I think we were going to try and get in on that on Friday. AZTR. Let's see. Not much going on there either. All right, let's look at the volume on the market. Remember, I was talking about that. We're now 15 minutes into the open, and we can get a little bit of a updated sense for what the projected end of day volume level will be. You can see that here a little bit more easily here. And if I could point you right here, the gray level. So we're only 15 minutes in, and already it's projecting to be lower. And so, what I said is likely to be true. Today's going to be a muted, lack of follow through kind of day. Although we are getting a strong red multiple candle move for the last 15 minutes, it's kind of useful for anyone who had a short bias on the day. But I do believe we're going to end up fairly dojied by the end of the day, kind of neither here nor there progress on anything, so that everyone can wait for the real information tomorrow morning. In some situations, some of you may wish to hedge going into tomorrow's numbers, but I don't think so. I don't think we're at any cataclysmic precipices. I'll knock on wood. We're at a very close point here where everything's working out economically, and we're even going to potentially start lowering rates. And we're starting to see the right movements from inflation, regardless of whether it goes back and forth and wiggles here. We're roughly flat with inflation. We have quelled it. Ultimately, took a lot longer than we thought. Um, and so anyway, yeah, muted day today because of that, all of that, and then tomorrow PPI and then CPI the next morning. So that's the big boom pam left right punch happening this week. Thursday, some jobless claims. All right, so everybody, I believe that's really all we got going on this morning. Is sort of like a hang and wait kind of day, and we'll just keep each other posted in the group. Make sure if you're not part of our group out there, you click the link in the wherever it is, and come on over and say hello. All right, we'd love to talk with you. See you. Okay, everybody, have a good morning. You too. You too. Bye.